Dear students, welcome to Tunga online classes. Today I am going to start with the next topic, that is mammary glands. So these are the major indication of all the mammals, especially in mammals. The females have mammary glands. They are very much helpful for the nourishment of the young ones of their own kind, right? So especially these are present in case of human being. So these are nothing but rounded prominences that are lying over the pectoralis, so major muscles, right, in the front wall of the thoracic part of the human being. They are present, right? So let us see the diagram of the same, and let us describe its function, its parts, everything now, right? Mammary glands. Here the fatty material is deposited over here, and later I am going to explain what are all those things internally present. Okay, these are fatty materials, and there we come across some of the lobules here. So this kind of lobules that we come across over here, and these lobules have many number of sac-like structures called as alveoli. Many number of sac-like structures that we come across in each lobule. Okay, these sac-like structures are called as alveoli. So these alveoli have some tubules. Each alveoli have the tubules. They have the tubules, and you are observing here the tubules. Many number of tubules are there for each alveoli. You can observe, you can imagine here there are many number of tubules are here, right? And these tubules are called as mammary tubules. These are called as mammary tubules, and these are known as alveoli. Okay, these mammary tubules all together form a common duct. All these together form a common duct. You can observe here. So all they together form the common duct called as mammary duct. What they are known as mammary ducts. All these together form a common duct over here, and these ducts are known as mammary duct. And these mammary duct, they swell themselves. They swell themselves and form this kind of tubule. See here, they swell themselves, forming this kind of tubules. Okay, and these tubules, they reach a structure. Okay, so this is how the structures are. And one more thing we should remember here, here are specialized muscles that are present over here, right? And these specialized muscles are called as pectoralis, major muscles. These are called as pectoralis, major muscles. Along with that one, there you come across this kind of rounded structure, and these are nothing but the ribs. In between the ribs, there are certain specialized muscles that we come across. So they are called as intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscles. You will find, right? So all these are the structures that we must remember always. Okay. So this is about the mammary glands in females. Okay. And so all other parts are filled with a fatty material as well as the connective tissue, especially the fibrous connective tissue that we come across over here. Okay, so this is how the mammary glands are present. Yes, now I go on explaining every part over here and related things over here now, right? See here, these mammary glands are a pair. They are in pair, right? In human being. In case of human being. So these mammary glands are nothing but these are paired, rounded prominences that are present over the pectoralis, major muscles you are finding over here, and they are present on the chest cavity. In front of the chest cavity there, so chest, you will find these a pair of mammary glands over here, right? This is one fact to be remembered over here, right? So one more point. So these are also present in males also. But in case of males, these are rudimentary in nature. They are rudimentary. Rudimentary in the sense that they are not so well developed. So they are not so well developed in case of males itself. And these are nothing but, so these mammary glands are modified sweat glands. These are modified sweat glands. These are modified sweat glands. So these modified sweat glands are well developed in case of females, but so in females also they are underdeveloped whenever there is no puberty at all in the female. When the female reaches the puberty condition, that moment they start to develop themselves due to the influence of the hormones like estrogen, progesterone, etc. Right? The point to be noted over here. So these are not so well developed. So well developed in females, even in females before the puberty. Before the puberty, they are not so well developed. But at puberty, after puberty, what happens? Due to the influence of the hormones like estrogen and progesterone. They start to develop themselves, right? And these mammary glands especially, so they are having a pointed structure or the little swollen structure at the tip, and that rounded swollen structure itself is called as what? Nipple. What it is called as? Nipple. Around the nipple, what you find over here itself is here is the area around the nipple. There is a thick pigmented skin that uncovers this nipple itself. I shall show here separately. So these are the okay, this is called as nipple, right? Around the nipple there is a pigmented skin, and this pigmented skin is little dark pink in color, or it may be little light brown in color, right? So that kind of pigmented area that we come across, and this pigmented area is provided with many number of sebaceous glands. This pigmented area is provided with sebaceous glands are present, right? Many sebaceous glands are present over here, okay? And this pigmented area itself is called as areola. What it is known as? Areola, right? So this areola is present around the nipple. This is called as, already have shown this one. So this is called as nipple itself, right? So around the nipple there is a areola tissue is there, or skin is there, right? A thick pigmented area which is provided with many sebaceous glands, right? And whenever you see internally this mammary gland, so what are the things that you come across here is, so first one is glandular tissue that you come across here, glandular tissue that you come across over here. And second one is fibrous connective tissue, fibrous connective tissue that you come across here. And third one is very important one. What is the third one? The third one itself is, see here, a fatty layer, or the fatty tissue, or it is called as adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is present over here in the mammary glands. This is a fatty tissue that you come across here. So this is how these three major parts that we come across. One by one I go on explaining. The first one is glandular tissue. Already I have shown you the glandular tissue. So that glandular tissue mainly consisting of many number of lobules, and those lobules are called as mammary lobules, right? And these mammary lobules are 15 to 20 in number. Means glandular tissue mainly consisting of 15 to 20 number of mammary lobes. Mammary lobes are present over here. This point is very important to be noted over here. 15 to 20 number of mammary lobes that we come across over here. So these are mammary lobes itself, right? I have shown only 3 over here. Okay, and each lobule consisting of many sac-like structures, and those sac-like structures are called as what? Alveoli. What they are known as? Alveoli, in which there the secretion of milk that take place over here. Secretion of the milk that take place inside the alveoli, and from these alveoli many tubules that we come across over here, and those tubules are called as mammary tubules. And these mammary tubules collect the milk from each alveoli and send it to the tubule called as mammary tubule, and from this mammary tubule it comes to the common passage called as mammary ducts, and from the mammary ducts it enters into the solen structure, and that solen structure itself is known as what? That is ampulla. Ampulla, all together called as ampullae, right? So from the ampullae it comes to the nipple, and these ampullas are followed by the ducts called as, these ducts are also very important one. I shall label over here itself, and so these ducts are called as lactiferous ducts. Lactiferous duct. Through the lactiferous duct, the milk that comes out of this mammary gland. So whenever the baby that sucks over here, right? After this glandular tissue, there we come across fibrous connective tissue, and this connective tissue already it helps in holding the two tissues, right? In the same way, so it helps in binding the lobules even and all other tissues itself, right? So this way the fibrous connective tissue is also provided over here. So here in between the lobes, memory lobes, there you come across the connective tissue over here also, and that connective tissue that help in holding these lobules very tightly. So this way fibrous connective tissue is also present over here, and along with that one, last one is fatty tissue or adipose tissue, right? Since adipose tissue is present over here in the mammary glands, these are very smooth in nature, right? So this is the adipose tissue that fills the gaps over here, right? So this is how entirely this mammary glands, mainly consisting of two major sections. So one is glandular tissue, second one is fibrous connective tissue, and third one is fatty tissue or adipose tissue, right? So in MCQs, which is the tissue that present inside the mammary glands? If it is asked, mainly you have to highlight over here the adipose tissue itself, right? So this is about the structure of these mammary glands, right? And what is the major function of these mammary glands? I shall write over here. First one is it helps in the production of milk. Production of milk is the major function of this one, and the second function is ejection of the milk from the mammary glands. Ejection of milk from the mammary gland. So these two together form one function, that is lactation. It is called as the production of the milk itself is called as lactation, and ejection of the milk is also taking place over here. So this is the process called as lactation, and the production of the milk is stimulated, or it is done by one of the hormones. Here we must remember the hormones over here in this condition. Last year we have learned this hormonal action over here, prolactin. Prolactin is the hormone that help in production of the milk in the mammary glands, and the second one is ejection of the milk is done by oxytocin. Oxytocin is the major hormone that help in ejection of the milk from the mammary glands, right? So ejection that take place through the oozing out of the milk that take place through the nipple, right? It is being done by oxytocin. Prolactin, oxytocin plays very important role in lactation itself, right? So this is very important point as far as need is concerned, right? So very important point. And come to the next thing. So what is ejected out, what is produced over here in the mammary glands is milk. So the milk, what is the composition of that milk present in the mammary glands of the human being? Especially I am going to highlight over here. The first one is it contains a little bit of fats, and it also contains a little more minerals, sodium, potassium, like that. So minerals are present over here, fats are present over here, and even the protein, major protein is present, casein. Casein is the major protein present over here, and so this casein itself is called as milk protein. What it is called as milk protein. And milk sugar is also there. Milk sugar is also there, right? Milk sugar is also there. So all these are the major components of what? The milk. Along with this one, so in this milk, mother's milk, the milk which is produced initially, so after the parturition, right? After the parturition for about a few days, For about a few days, whatever the milk that comes out of the mammary glands of the female after parturition of the delivery of the baby, it is called as, so very important term it is that you must remember over here, and that term is colostrum, and that mainly consisting of so one type of antibodies, right? So especially it contains antibodies, IgG type of antibodies are mainly present over here. So they form the defensive system in the baby, right? It is a kind of passive immunity, it builds in the baby itself, right? So this is all about the mammary glands, right? So in the next period we shall go through the next part of this chapter. Thank you very much.